Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 262 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Can't stop, won't stop, although I should stop, and maybe the B-Man will stop. But right now, I keep going to eBay, and I bought this card. And I'm going to add this to my PC personal collection. This is a sports card of America's father, of America's gynecologist, Bill Cosby. And many of you don't know this, but Bill Cosby is an angel investor of this project, Verbal Graffiti. Therefore, when I saw this card on eBay, I had to press the buy button right away. I spent $3 on this, and I will never sell it unless I need the money. But right now, if I need the money, I'll just ask Bill Cosby for some more, because he's still got some of that NBC money. Don't let him fool you. Don't let the public fool you into thinking he's broke. He had to pay for all those lawyer fees for that court case, which... All right, let's not get into it. All right, Bill Cosby, we love you. Jerry Sandusky, we're also a big fan of ours. Good on good. We're all good. Moving forward, I don't know if I'm good. I think I'm good. But I've noticed the last week or so, and maybe I've sort of had this uneasy feeling in my stomach, in the sack of my balls, the sack that my balls are in. Up into my stomach, into my pit, into whatever's in there. I'm feeling stress. I'm not sure if that leads to an aneurysm. I'm not sure what that is. All I know is if you have stress in your stomach that you don't get rid of, that usually leads to cancer and to dying at an earlier age than you should. I'm already 42. I'm past middle age. I listened to a video on YouTube right before getting on here of a guy. What's his name? I should really give him a shout out. He has many more followers than me. We're up to 89. We're also now on Rumble. We're also now on Discord as well. Now, I think on Discord, if you look up Verbal Graffiti, you'll find my channel. And I'm posting my reels on that channel. I cannot put the entire episodes. And even the reels, I'm having a difficulty posting them on Discord because I don't pay for Discord. Therefore, the size of the video you can upload, it's limited, I think, to 10 something. I'm not good with the technology, so I'm having to compress it more than I normally do. But it's there. And if you're on Discord, check out Verbal Graffiti on Rumble. I have the entire episodes and all that jazz. I think it might be Meatball Grinder, same as Reddit. So we're now on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you call it, YouTube, Rumble, Discord, and then wherever you get your podcast, audio podcasts. We're probably on that platform as well. So we're all over the place. So there is no excuse for you not to watch or listen to Verbal Graffiti. And if you're not listening or watching Verbal Graffiti, 10 lashes to the back. Just leather on skin. Nothing to protect yourself. Not saying actually I am. Yeah, I'm going to give you lashes until your skin breaks and there's lesions. Because we're everywhere now. We're on every single platform. Locals, is that a platform? Should I put it on the hub? I've thought about doing that. Maybe I will. But we're trying to, instead of changing, this is why I'm a failure. This is why the B-Man, this is why this project, Verbal Graffiti, is a failure. And this is why Bill Cosby was not a failure in the 90s. 2026, not doing too hot for Mr. Bill Cosby, Mr. Huxtable. You ever notice, now that I think about it, Mr. Huxtable, at the Cosby Show. There were no Cosbys in the Cosby Show. They were all the Huxtables, right? This goes to show you how much of a narcissist Mr. Bill Cosby was. The Cosby Show. But there's no Cosbys in the Cosby Show. And maybe a bit of a what do they call that? Not foretelling, foreshadowing. In the show, The Cosby Show, Mr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby, is a gynecologist. He helps the babes give birth. A little foreshadowing into what it is Bill Cosby likes and what he fancies and what he might have done. He likes to, all right, but we're not going to say what Bill Cosby was accused of doing because he's a fan of ours. So why would we try to accuse one of the 89 fans, subscribers of Verbal Graffiti that we have? But what I'm getting at is, yeah, so we're everywhere now. Instead of changing the platform, instead of changing the format of Verbal Graffiti to get more views on YouTube and Instagram and all the mainstream social media sites, I go, no. Those sites don't know what they're doing. I'll just keep doing the same show that nobody's watching, and I'll put it on different platforms, hoping to find an audience there. I probably won't, but hey, I got nothing else going on in my life other than this stress in the pit of my stomach and in the bottom of my sack that has 2 testicles in it between my legs, because that's where your ball sack is. I've been having this the last week. I have this eerie feeling that I'm going to get fired from my job. Don't ask me why, because I don't know the answer. I show up to work every day. I do my work. But this show ain't about my work. It's about smut humor. But I observe. That's what the B-Man does. I drive around. I do stand-up comedy. I don't talk to anybody. I listen to people talk about themselves. Because my life's quite boring. I work, I do stand-up, or I do this project, Verbal Graffiti. I do a little bit of road running. I collect a few baseball cards of some famous celebrities that support us here at Verbal Graffiti, and that's my life. That is my life. Somehow, I have the entire trans community in Connecticut after me. We'll get to that in another episode, but I'm quite scared of them. Not the trans people, just their muscle. The muscle behind the trans people, that's what I'm scared of and what they might do to me. We'll get to that in maybe another episode, maybe this episode. That's what they call in the business a tease. But I observe. Last week, I listened to that babe Ellen talk about having vaginal prolapse. Very interesting. Did an entire episode on it. This week's a bit more personal. Like I said, I have this eerie feeling that my job is on the rocks, that I might lose my job, and that's going to put me in now I have lots of money, not lots of money, but I have money saved up. But when you think you're going to lose the money that's coming in, you start to notice the money and the lack of it much more. It becomes much more vibrant. It slaps you in the face. It teabags you. The lack of money in America, and the people I know, it's teabagging me right now. And that's what's giving me the heebie-jeebies in the stomach. I'm sure you can relate. I just ate a piece of an apple pie today. That cost $8.99. That same apple pie a year ago was $5.99. And I believe 3 or 4 years ago, it was $4.99. Now, that's what they call inflation. This is not economics, although I will give you financial advice here at Verbal Graffiti. Anything I say about finances or what to do with your money or how to invest it is financial advice, and you should do what I'm telling you to do. There's this smoke shop that bothers me. It's a few miles away from where I live. It's on a main drag. It's in a plaza. It's the biggest store in the plaza. If you don't know how plazas are constructed, usually there's a big box store. Think of a Walmart, a Target, that type of store, and then alongside or beside the big box store, there are tinier stores. So think about a Subway, a nail salon, a barber shop, kind of your mom and pop shops, or maybe your franchises like a Subway that's owned by a local member of your community or your society. They rent the subway. Like, Subway is not owned. The person who owns your local Subway, like, it is Subway, but it's usually a local person buying the naming rights to Subway, and they're the ones who run the store. You probably know this, but if you didn't, hey, there you go. There's a lesson. So, but there's this plaza a few miles from where I live that doesn't have a Walmart or a Target. It's kind of a small plaza. And in it, the biggest store, the big box store, is a smoke shop that does not sell marijuana, at least legally. They might do it illegally. I suspect that they're doing something illegally, and that's what bothers me. Now, let's paint the picture. So you have this big smoke shop, and then alongside it, there's one storefront that's out of business. There's a bottle return place. So this is Connecticut. So you have to recycle your cans, or you can recycle your soda and plastic cans, aluminum cans. So there's a bottle redemption store that does gangbuster. It's super crowded. They do great business. And on the other side of this smoke shop, there is I think there's like a deli, like a local deli, pizza, donut, like a little bit of everything. They sell food. But so there are all these little storefronts. And the only one that gets business in this plaza, because I drive by it a few times a day, or at least a few times a week at different hours throughout the day. So I do see who's in the parking lot is the bottle redemption place. Because, again, in Connecticut, when you buy soda or beer or any kind of bottles, you got to pay an extra 10 cents per if you buy a 12-pack. So you got to buy or pay an extra $1.20. Yes, do the math, B-man. $1.20 on top of whatever the 12-pack costs for 10 cents per can, and then you bring your can back to the redemption place, and you get they crush them, and you get your money back, your $1.20. All right, that's recycling in Connecticut from Verbal Graffiti. Who thought I'd be talking about that in episode 262? Well, enough with that. Let's get to the smoke shop. Now, this was brought to my attention, this smoke shop. A few months ago, I put out a video, a narration, you want to call it a narration, short film, observation of the crumbling of America, how we're losing the fight from within, how there's graffiti, everyone's smoking. Anywhere you go, it's an advertisement to give into a vice. Where alcohol, smoking, gambling, sports gambling, rubbing tugs, whatever your vice is, you could probably get it within 5 miles of wherever you live. And even if you live under a bridge, in a tent, and you probably do if you're a fan of Verbal Graffiti. So when I was filming for this video, I started filming this smoke shop this aforementioned smoke shop that nobody goes into. Now, before I started filming it, I didn't realize, because I don't smoke. The only time I really ever smoke is when I'm making short films, and that's just because it's cinematic. I'm usually filming myself, so I have to do something to make you look at. So that's why I smoke. If you watch any older films from the 50s and 60s, they always smoke in the films, and not saying smoking is good for you, but it looks good on camera, and it certainly looks cinematic. So that's why, whatever. So I'm filming the outside of the smoke shop because I've driven by it. I know it's there, never been inside it. So I go there. And I'm filming the outside of the storefront because they got a big sign. I really should remember the name of the store. I do not. It's Smoke Rules with a Z. I think that's the name of this place. Smoke Rules, RULZ. So I'm filming just the outside, the storefront, because it's colorful, and there's a 420 sign in the window, and in the front window they have bongs. So I'm filming it from different angles. It's the middle of winter. It's probably January or February. Very cold. I have gloves on as I'm filming. I remember that. I remember my extremities being very, very cold to the point where they hurt more than they usually do. So I'm filming and I'm getting a close up of the window of the Kino sign because I also do Kino there, another vice that many of Americans have. So I'm trying to get a close up of the Kino, like right by the front door of the store. And the guy comes out, Indian guy, of course, because here in Connecticut, all the smoke shops are owned by Indians. Don't know what that's about. We're going to get into it though. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, I'm making a short film, narration thing, just getting a video image of your storefront." And he goes, "You got to stop filming." And I go, "Well, why?" Like, I'm not filming the inside of your store. I'm filming the outside. You have a big sign saying smoker rules. Like, I'm allowed to film outside of your store. And he goes, "No, you're not." And I go, "Yes, I am." And we had a bit of an altercation. And then it hit me. Hey, wait, it's the middle of January. It's, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm there alone. I got a lot of expensive equipment with me, camera, audio, all that jazz. And it's me, a white guy, and an Indian guy. And I'm cool with the Indians. I have fucked an Indian babe before. Multiple times. So I will literally fuck with the Indians. But and then it kind of hit me. Wait, I'm alone. There's an Indian guy. There might be a lot of other Indian guys in that store in the back. So I did the math, and well, I don't want to get in a fist fight, and I don't want to break any of my equipment. So I acquiesced to his demands. I packed up and I left, and I didn't really give it much thought until a couple weeks ago. I went in that store. My latest short film. Go check it out. It's Limp Bizkit at the Meadows. It's on whatever platform you watch Verbal Graffiti. It's on YouTube. That's where you can watch it in 4K. But part of that movie, I'm smoking a bong. But again, I don't really smoke that often. And when I'm filming, I don't want to be high. So what I did is I knew about this smoke shop. I went to the smoke shop to get a bag of tobacco. So I smoked in that film, Limp Bizkit, at the Meadows. I smoked tobacco out of that bong. So when I was filming, I wanted to get high, and I would have, all my senses with me and continue to film. But I go in this store Saturday afternoon, or is this Sunday afternoon? Saturday. Yeah, let's go with a Saturday afternoon. Beautiful afternoon. It's summertime now. It's June, maybe early July. I'm in the store Saturday afternoon. Let's say it's 3:30, 4 o'clock. You think a smoke shop would be packed. It is not. I am the only one in there. And this smoke shop, the size of it, McDonald's, it's the size of a McDonald's or a Taco Bell or any suburban fast food takeout place that has dining inside. It's about the size as that. So this is a big smoke shop. And this is my first time going into the store. I go in there and I'm not a smoker. And this is a big store. So I'm looking around. Yeah, I'm lost. And you can kind of tell that I'm lost. I'm basically a kid in a grocery store whose parents lost them. That's where I am. I know what I need. I need something to smoke out of this bong that kind of looks like weed, but that isn't weed. So I'm looking around, and finally an Indian guy, younger guy, probably mid-20s, goes, "Hey, can I help you out? What are you looking for?" And I go, "I'm looking for tobacco." They're like stuff in a pipe, they smoke out of a bong. Can you help me out with that? And he takes me to a back room. And they have these huge bags of tobacco, maybe like a pound, or I don't know, like a bag this big of tobacco. And then they have those on one side of the wall. And then on the other two sides of the walls are cigars. So this is like the tobacco room in the smoke shop. And I'm looking at the cigars. None of them are expensive, at least super expensive. And I don't know what's an expensive cigar. Anything over $25. I think is an expensive cigar. You're probably laughing at the B-Man. If you're a cigar smoker, maybe that's super cheap. I don't know. I don't fuck with cigars very often unless they're given to me. So I'm asking, hey, can I, like, is this good tobacco? Can I like hit this in a pipe? Will this work? And he's like, yeah. And I got, well, do you have any smaller bags? Because I need about this much. I just need enough tobacco, the stuff in a bong pipe. I don't need, like a half pound of a kilo of tobacco. But that's the smallest bag they had. So I ended up buying a bag of tobacco for like $30 when I only need a few strings of it. That irritated me. And I'm in there. And then, like, I asked the guy, do you have any smaller bags of tobacco? And the Indian guy finds another Indian guy that's in another part of the store behind the door. And he comes out and he's drinking what looks like a Pepsi or a Coke out of a little Dixie cup. I'm not sure if there was alcohol in it or not. I don't know, whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, that's tobacco. And he completes the sale for me, and I buy it. And I'm a sucker. I need the tobacco. But I realized that as I'm in the store, I'm the only one in there. It's me, the two Indian employees. Then outside, there's a couple of cars with a bunch of Indian guys. I don't know, in their 20s probably, maybe their early 30s. They're just hanging out. They're just hanging on the curb. They're chopping it up, doing just hanging out, not working, not whatever. So, but I'm in there. I'm in the store. There's a bunch of bongs. There's a bunch of lighters. There's a bunch of like cigarettes and other tobacco type products that I can't paint a picture for you because I'm kind of illiterate when it comes to smoking supplies. Sorry. If you need a lighter, I don't have one. I cannot tell you how many times doing stand-up, I've been chopping it up, shooting the shit, talking with other comics, and someone pulls it, hey, do you have a light? I'm like, no, I don't smoke. And I'm disappointed in myself for not having a lighter for you, even though I don't smoke. I don't know why I feel guilty about not having a lighter, but I always feel guilty when someone asks me for a light and I don't have a light to give. Maybe I should just buy a lighter and carry it with me at all times. I don't think I'll do that. I did have a nephew who died in a house fire because he lit a match or a lighter. I was 3. I wasn't part of it. It happened. He's dead. I'm alive. Just be thankful for every day. All right, but moving forward, I'm in the store. It's a huge store, square footage wise. For that they don't sell drugs there. I'm pretty sure, at least legally, they don't sell marijuana or cocaine or MDMD or DMT, whatever initial drugs that cost a lot of money that you sell under the table that you don't have to pay taxes for or taxes on. They don't sell any of it. They just sell vapes, tobacco, anything you could get at your convenience store. And that's what I'm getting at here. I don't know how this smoke rules tobacco smoke shop stays in business. It's befuddling to me. And I've been thinking about this for the last week. And I drive by this store. No one's ever in there. I was in there on a Saturday afternoon, late June, gorgeous afternoon. I'm the only one in there. 2 employees were able to give me their entire attention which I found uncomfortable. But again, I'm the only one in there. Right? I see smoke shops all over the place. It's always in the front window. They have huge bongs. Who's buying bongs? You buy one, maybe you break it, you buy a second one. But those bongs that I see at these smoke shops, they're always there. They're never, and they're not being replaced. And if you don't know, if you live in Connecticut, you buy your cigarettes at the gas station, maybe the grocery store, but usually at the convenience store. That's another thing. When I lived in New York City, that's right, the B-man, I didn't always live with my mom and my dad. I have most of my life, but there have been several years where I went out on my own and I lived in New York City, not Manhattan, because I'm not successful. When you're not successful living in New York City and also not a hot babe, you have to go to one of the outer boroughs to live. For me, that was Queens. I was living in Long Island City, Astoria, and eventually Woodside. And when you live in New York City, or if you know anyone who lives in New York City, they always brag and gas up the bodegas. They love the bodegas, the cats. They're open 24 hours. It's this magical place. It has everything. Everything you want, everything you need, 24 hours a day, a block away, go to the bodega. I'm here to tell you, bodegas, overrated. Overrated. The bodega is nothing more than a convenience store. If you live in the burbs or rural America, you go to your gas station, you go inside the convenience store to get your bag of chips, a dozen eggs, a bottle of Red Bull. It's the same thing as a bodega in New York City or any metropolitan area. It's just, it's more condensed. The bodega, that is. And it might not be open 24 hours. But really, that's all a bodega is. It's a sexy name for a convenience store. But if you live in Connecticut, or you live in the suburbs, or even rural America, if you smoke cigs or do anything with tobacco, you usually just pick up your pack of cigarettes at the package store, the liquor store, the gas station, or any corner store or convenience store that is close to wherever you live or wherever you're driving. That's where you pick up your tobacco supplies. At least that's where all my friends and people I know who smoke, that's when I ask them, when I do a poll, because I have been doing a poll this last week. And that's where all my smoker friends are. I'm trying to put this all together. Make a fucking point, B-man. Make a fucking point. We get it. There's a smoke shop. Nobody's in there. How are they staying in business? Nobody buys their smoke supplies at the smoke stores in Connecticut. How do they stay in business? There's something fugazi going on. I don't know what it is. There are so many local businesses that don't make sense to me. Like I know there's something fugazi. It's a front for something illegal. They're using the business to wash the money that they're getting from some illegal activity or endeavor. I don't know what these Indian people are doing at this Smoke Rules in Wallingford, Connecticut. But they're doing something. And I don't know what it is. And that's what bothers me. I want to become an investigative reporter and find out how are they making their money? How are they paying their rent? How do you have the biggest storefront in a plaza and that you don't have any business coming in? All the smaller stores in the plaza are mogging you with how many customers that they have compared to this smoke shop. And I want to become an investigative reporter. I don't have the time. I don't have the willpower. I honestly don't care that much. It bothers me. I'll think about it. But I'm not going to do all the work to actually figure out what's going on. I'll just come out here and bitch about it at Verbal Graffiti. But everything is just, it doesn't make sense to me. This economy does not make sense. How are people living? How is everybody getting by? I don't get it. I've spoken about this periodically throughout this Project Verbal Graffiti. It just, like last week, my brother was here, older brother, right? He's very, very old, very, very old, in his 50s. He's past middle age. He's got him and his girlfriend, they're basically married, right? They've been together, I don't know, 7, 8 years at this point. Like she had an SUV. They both work full-time jobs, right? I don't think they're killing it financially, but they're professionals, all right? They're white collar. They have insurance. They have benefits. They're doing life as you should. I don't understand. I don't understand how they live. I understand how they. Let me give you an example. My brother was here last week. He drove his girlfriend's car. She has an SUV that she leases, and she had a better SUV last year. Again, she had a lease. She turned it in. It was the end of the lease. She re-upped. I think it's Mazda. Maybe it's Nissan. It's an SUV, mid-size, almost a hatchback SUV. Like she had a big SUV, but she had to downsize because it was too expensive, the payment. So she downsized to a smaller size SUV. My brother's daughter got into a car accident, fender bender, in this SUV, and the driver's side back door, like my brother and his girlfriend, they don't have the money to get the door fixed. So it's not a crazy dent, but it's noticeable. And to keep the door closed, there's a bungee cord that they put to the cord to under the body of the car to keep the door closed. I get it. It is what it is. They don't have the money to fix the door. Like the car runs perfectly. It's a bit of an eyesore. Well, I get it. Like I'm missing a hubcap on one of my tires. Well, I'm here. I'm like, how are you not able to fix the door? I get it. Everything's expensive, way too expensive. But you both work full-time jobs. You have kids, but you have car insurance. You have a car, but you don't have enough money to get it fixed. And there are so many people who are in this position where it's like you're just one bad accident away from being over, from being at a point where you got to off yourself. That's the only option, is you either off yourself or you drive around with the dent in your car because you don't have the funds or the finances or the salary to fix the dent in the car. I don't get it. I just think if you live in America and you and your lover have full-time jobs, you should be able to get your car fixed. Now, I'm not talking about new transmission or a new engine. I'm saying, hey, a little dent, a little fender bender, you should be able to afford that. But they can't. And it's not their fault, my brother and his girlfriend. It's his whole economy is fucked up. I don't even know. Remember that game Kerplunk? Or are you old enough? Like before technology, there was a game where you put these sticks. There was a little tube with a bunch of sticks, and you put it in, and you put marbles on top of the sticks, and you pull the sticks out one by one. You play with however many people. Whoever pulled the stick out, where that made all the other sticks fall down, and the marbles fell down, you lost. The game was called Kerplunk. That's what this U.S. economy is right now. We're just playing Kerplunk. Like, oh, you have a dent in the car, open up another credit card. 0 down APR for 12 months. We'll keep relaying that every 12 months till it fucks us in the face. It just face fucks us till our throat gets sore. And I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I drive to West Hartford last night, do stand-up. It's a Tuesday night. I drive by a bar taco. It's this, if you don't know, it's like a trendy California Mexican restaurant, right? And I'm driving. It's Tuesday, lovely evening, must be 7:30, 8 o'clock, and all the outdoor seating is taken. It's a shoulder to shoulder. There's not an open table to be had, and I'm at a red light, so I'm looking. I'm just observing who's there. What's the clientele here at this bar taco restaurant? It's all women. It's all white babes, younger white babes. I'd say 75% of the clientele were tables full of babes under the age of 30, mostly white. And no guys. Guys don't do that. Guys don't go out to a restaurant. Guys get a drink together. Babes go out to restaurant. I don't understand the allure that babes have, that restaurants give babes. Babes love going to restaurants. And it hit me with this bar taco. It really hit me. I'm looking there. All right, and let's just say there's tables of 4. Maybe there'll be a gay guy. Maybe like a gay guy and 4 white girls. And maybe there'll be a table of girls that weren't white, but they kind of had a white attitude to them. Like, if there's a think college educated, early career, a white babe, that was a clientele at Bar Taco. And I'm thinking, and I know what the salaries are. I mean, how can you afford a night out on a Tuesday, Bar Taco, when my brother and his girlfriend, they can't afford, they get their car fixed? It just doesn't make it. Where is it? The people who have money, where is it coming from? Because I looked at the clientele at Bar Taco, and I just looked just by their age, the way they were dressed. And yes, I'm judging them by their age and the way they were dressed. But these weren't executives. They weren't using their company card. These were people on 25 years old, probably younger. No guy. They weren't trying to get hit on by guys. They were paying for these meals themselves. It doesn't make sense. All I read is the economy's wages are not keeping up with inflation, which I agree with, which I'm part of. My salaries or my wage is not. But then I go out to West Hartford and it's popping. These restaurants, the sidewalk seating, mid-weekday evening, there's not a table to be had. So how are all these people eating out when I know most of us are just, you can't afford a house? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in my stomach. All I'm trying to do is save my money, and I know it's going to collapse. And I know the government and all these what is the company or the entity that makes the money isn't the government. They're called something else, but it's actually not the government. But whatever that entity is, it keeps making new money. So the money you try to save, it's being devalued. So if you're trying to do the right thing by saving your money and not giving in to consumerism, you're being fucked up the ass without lube. You're probably going to get HIV, the HIV, and it's because that money you're saving is being devalued because the denominator of that money just keeps changing. It's fucking you. And that's the worst kind of fuck there is. When you're getting fucked and you don't know who's fucking you when the fucking is going down. And that's what's making me nervous. Not nervous, just it's giving me stress. I'm feeling it in my ball sack, along with my 2 testicles. Can any of you relate? Can any of you relate? Go suck a fat one.